Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? How are we doing? I'm doing good. The camera's making me look a little red. I don't know what the fuck is up with that, but we're just gonna deal with it because today I'm going to be doing a story time. I haven't done hold on, I want the lighting to be better. I haven't done a YouTube story time in like a really long time, but I couldn't sleep a couple days ago. I literally couldn't sleep, so I was just watching my old YouTube videos because I'm self-absorbed. Like, I'm so self-absorbed. So I was watching my old YouTube videos and I was like, oh wait, I actually like when I did story times on YouTube. And you know what? I've been sitting on this fucking story time. I haven't said a word. And everyone's also been asking me about it and I haven't said a fucking thing about it. So I was like, now is the time to talk about it. If you follow my TikTok, you know who Newman is. Newman was this guy I was seeing. I feel like I talked really highly on him on Instagram, about him on Instagram, which is new for me. I feel like I talked really highly about him on TikTok, which is new for me. Like, I normally don't speak highly of people, but with the way that him and I ended, there really is no reason for me to speak that fucking highly of him anymore. Like, things just got weird. So I'm just gonna give you guys the rundown of every little thing that happened because, like, why the fuck not? Like, why not? If you're new here, Newman was a guy I was seeing when I first moved to California, and if I'm being so dead ass honest with you guys, the reason I even went on a date with Newman, because Newman, I actually met him when I was in LA in September when I decided to move here, and he had been on my fucking Instagram, like swiping up on my stories, texting me a lot, and I just like wasn't that interested. I was like, no, I'm really just not that fucking interested in this man, like whatever. Gave him my number, but I didn't really care. He was distraught by that, and I was like, have we never heard of a roster, motherfucker? We met him back in September, like we barely briefly kept in touch. Nicole and I play this game. Nicole's my best friend. We play this game called like Russian roulette, right? Where we'll have to like scroll on our text messages and then I say stop. And you have to text that person whatever I say. So like he was a part of a Russian roulette game that Nicole and I played, and so like he like genuinely thought that was me. Whatever. I might sound immature as fuck, and maybe I am, okay? Whatever. Nicole and I just like to have a fun time together. The girls just like to have a fun time, and we wanted to play Russian roulette together. Like, what? Sue me. What? Sue me. Okay. He took all that like pretty seriously, but when I first moved to LA, and you guys don't know this, there was this one guy and I liked him. I had known him for like a really long time, and I actually really liked him. And he came over like right when I first moved, you guys, and like, what the fuck was I thinking? No, and he came over and we like had a great time together. This is the guy that came in my hand in 10 seconds. Like, remember I was like, I was making out with a guy and like he came in my hand in 10 seconds. Maybe I didn't tell that story, but like, yeah, that's basically how our thing went about. Like, we literally didn't do anything but that. But I like actually genuinely liked him and like had like a little thing for him, and I just known him for so long. I was like, it's so cool that he's seen me grow up in like, we followed each other in like 2020 on Instagram. So it's like, he saw me like launch Midday Matcha. He saw my growth on TikTok. He saw all these things. And I just thought that was like the cutest thing in the fucking world, right? I don't know what I was, whatever. I did like him, whatever, who cares? Oh my God, you guys have probably liked weirder fucking people than who I liked, whatever, I don't care anymore. Anyways, so I was like low-key down bad about him. I just low-key down bad about him. And I did this subliminal that like helps him get out of your mind, whatever. I'll like link it down below because that's how I get over guys really easily. I listened to this one subliminal, and you listen to it like while you're going to sleep at night, and it's like called getting your power back, whatever. Every time I use it, I always get my power back, and I'll actually link it for you guys down below because like I love the YouTube girlies, and the YouTube girlies should use it. Anytime I'm like low-key down bad about a man, I use it. And so I was low-key down bad about, we're just gonna call him Handy. We'll just call him Handy. I was low-key down bad about Handy because like I liked him a lot, and he was just being like a fuck boy towards me, and I was like, forget it, fuck that, whatever. So then we'll call Newman was like texting me like, let me take you to dinner, like let me take you to dinner. I was like, fucking fine, like it's the whatever. I used Newman to get over Handy. I really did do that. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, Newman can like pick me up, take me on a date. I don't fucking care, anything to get Handy out of my head. Like, why am I down bad about a man that came in my hand in like 0.5 seconds. Like, why am I low-key down bad about it? I'm just a lover, girl. I just liked him. That was about it. I just liked him. Now we get into New Man. New Man was great from like the jump, okay? A little bit ugly, but great from the jump. Like, I wasn't very sexually attracted to him looking back. Like, even on our first date, he tried to kiss me and I like shoved him away from me. I was like, what do you think you're doing? I feel like if he was hot and sexy and like, cause we were really vibing, like that's the thing is, and I'm really bad at when I'm really vibing and I'm like getting along with a guy like so good, but let's not say I look at them as like attractive or I don't think they're attractive. I'm not gonna like friend zone them. I'm gonna be like, Livy, stop being a fucking bitch. Like, stop being a fucking bitch and like get to know them better, whatever. Whereas my best friend Nicole is like, no, I don't find him attractive. Like, I'm not gonna like continue to date him because like, why am I gonna waste my own fucking time, right? So it was a lot of like me trying to convince myself that he was my type and he wasn't my type, and that's okay. Like, it just, but I liked who he was as a person, barely. And then we're gonna get into like what the fuck actually happened with everything in that sense. So New Man and I, we did great. And then one day I was like, okay, I want you to meet Nicole. Nicole's my best friend. She's in town. I want you to meet her. Slightly because I want Nicole to meet the man I'm talking to, because we know I'm batshit fucking insane. We know I picked like the worst men half the time. So I'm like, my best friend needs to meet the man I've been going on dates with and I've been communicating with, because I don't fully trust myself. If I'm being so honest, I don't fully trust myself with these men. We've seen the situations I've gotten myself in. So I always just want like my best friend's opinion, you know, and I trust her more than anything, and she's very brutally honest, whatever. We have this wine night planned. He's like, yeah, we'll go to the wine bar right by your apartment. Like, we'll go there, we'll all hang out. It'll be like so fun. I'm like, perfect. He calls me an hour before and is like, hey, I'm just like not doing great mentally. Like, I'm just having a bad day. I don't really want to bring bad vibes to Nicole. So like, I'm just gonna cancel. Everyone said I was crazy for this, and I might have been. That really pissed me off. I don't do well with plans changing last minute. Like, I have never done well with that. My mom will do it to me and I'll lose my fucking mind. And I don't know if it's just like, it is probably just like a control thing that I have going on, but like, I don't do well with that, okay? And I was just like a little bit upset by that. I was like, okay, my best friend's in town. Like, I wanted you to meet my best friend. I've never in my life introduced Nicole to a single man I've ever fucking dated. I have never done that because I don't think they're even slightly good enough for me to introduce Nicole to, because I know Nicole's gonna look at me and be like, really, Livy, what the fuck, are we on drugs right now? I was like, okay, I want to introduce it. And then I like came around and I was like, maybe I'm being like a little bit crazy, whatever. New Man and I had a date on the beach that Monday after Nicole left. He actually did stop by and meet Nicole, and Nicole was like, yeah, he's pretty average, Livy. Like, what did you expect me to say? I'm like, girl, you're not wrong. And she was just like, whatever, like, it was what it. You guys, in front of this man though, this is so fucking embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. In front of this man, we're all talking and it felt like I was just like with the girls. Like, he just like stopped by my apartment. I was like, I just felt like I was with the girls. I was like, yeah, I wish I could be a whore. I said that in front of the new man I was speaking to. Yeah, I wish I could just be a whore. He was like, no, go ahead, go do it. Like, whatever. I was like, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that. I don't know why that came out. I don't know why that came out. Whatever. Poor guy, poor guy. But we were vibing. Everything was going good. Then we had a beach date, and that was that Monday after Nicole left. Like I had just said, we had a beach date. On that beach date, we FaceTimed my best friend, Maisie, and Maisie was like, hey, come to my birthday this weekend. Like, come to my birthday. And I was like, oh shit, that's like a big fucking commitment. Like, he's gonna meet my best friend, her boyfriend, like the people that I'm probably the closest to. Like, that is just like a big fucking thing, whatever. And I like told him, I was like, you really don't have to come. He's like, no, I'm going. That Friday, me and Maisie and her boyfriend Reese, we're all here, we're getting ready, we're glamming. Reese wasn't glamming, but Maisie and I were glamming. I get a text from him that's like, hey, I'm just having like a really bad day, like I'm not coming out tonight. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm getting annoyed, because now this is just like a pattern that you have. Like, you're always canceling because you're having like a bad day. Like, I'm just kind of fucking over that. Another week goes by, we have a date night that Wednesday. Guess what? That Wednesday I get a phone call. He cancels because he's not feeling good. He's like, I'm just having a bad day. This is the third time he's fucking canceled on me, and we've only been talking 3 weeks. To cancel on me 3 times in 3 weeks, forget it. What the fuck am I doing here? So I like, him and I got in like a blowout fight. I'm not gonna lie, we got in like a really big fight. Like, I shouldn't be fighting with someone like that I'm just like talking to, but I'm a little batshit, and we got in a fight, and he like said some crazy fucking things to me, and I ended things with him. I was like, okay, I'm done. I ended things with him. Then I bounced back. And I was like, oh my God, am I making a mistake? Like, he's such a nice guy. It's like, Livy, you can't even kiss that man with your eyes open. Like, you can't even look at that man in the fucking eyes, because you're like low-key not attracted to him. And I like thought, I was like, maybe I'm making a mistake. Everyone thinks he's a really nice guy. Maybe I'm just pushing away a good thing. Because like, I'm always like, oh, am I pushing away a good thing? Like, he's such a nice guy. Maybe I am. I just want to let everyone know who's thinking that, like, oh, am I pushing away a good thing, da da da. No, maybe you are, maybe you fucking aren't, but if it's just you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And like that is like what I need to get better at, because I'll be like, oh my god, like I'm pushing away somebody good, and it's like maybe I'm not, maybe I'm just not fucking attracted to that person, maybe I don't really even like that person that much. But I felt the pressure to like him because he was a good guy, and I was like, oh my god, I always like attract these losers, like I had Handy on my mind, like whatever. That's another thing, like I was going on dates with this guy and I was like low-key in the back of my head like, what is Handy doing? Handy did call me though. Handy did call me after like one of my dates with this guy, and he was like, hey, like I'm gonna be in the area, like wanna hang out? And I was like, no, I don't fuck with you. I just don't fuck with you anymore, Handy. Like you disrespected me and I just seriously don't fuck with you. And that took a lot of courage for me to say, but it felt good to like throw that back in the face of like the man that like came in my hand in 10 seconds and then disrespected me by like not talking to me for like a good week. I was like, okay, I'm over you, Handy. I want nothing to do with you. So then I like spun the block back and got back together with New Man because I thought I was like fumbling the bag. I made TikToks about it and I really wasn't. I am in my head a lot of the time and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like missing out. No, the fuck you're not, Livy. Like relax, you're good. Everything's gonna be okay. So then I go to Austin, Texas. Me and New Man, like, yeah, we're back together, but we're not doing great, okay? We're not, like, communicating that much. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of not loving this. I'm very out of sight, out of mind. If you're not talking to me a lot or I'm not communicating with you a lot, I'll genuinely forget you exist. That's just an issue, my own issue that I have. Like, I just will literally forget about you. Whatever. I come back from Austin. We're supposed to have a date night this Monday. Okay, this is where I have to preface a lot of things. Number one, if you've been following me for a while, you know I lost a really good friend. Like I had a really good friend of mine pass away. It was some of the worst pain I've been in my entire life. It is still some of the worst pain I deal with. Like this is where I get emo. Like I literally miss her so much, and death and grief is such a hard fucking thing to deal with and like process in general. I'm very open about my friend who passed because I feel like that helps me heal, and I love spreading the light that she brought into the world. So like if you're close to me, you're gonna know about how my friend passed away, and you're not even how she passed away, you're just gonna know that my friend passed away. And it brings me a lot of comfort talking about her, and I could go on for fucking hours about her and who she was as a person, how fucking amazing she was, how much I love her and I miss her. Every time I talk about it, it gets me so emotional, and this is like not the point of the video, but it's something that I deal with. Okay, I'm trying not to get like ruin my makeup either. It is something I'll deal with the rest of my life, not having her, and just having lost her at such a young age. Like, and I've lost a lot of people. Like I've lost my cousin, I've lost both my grandparents, I've lost a lot of people at a really young age too. I've had to say goodbye to a lot of people, so I'm very familiar with death and grief. That is something that is like, oh my god, I'm a little too familiar with it. I don't think, like, there was one summer that I didn't even feel like I could answer the fucking phone, because every time I did, my mom would be like, this person passed away, and it was all extremely close people to me. And I also think when you lose somebody who is young, it is so fucking hard and difficult. So yeah, the reason I'm telling you guys this, you'll understand in a second, but like that is something that like tears at my heartstrings every fucking day. And I miss her and I love her and I'll always talk about her, okay? And so yeah, obviously like New Man knew about that, whatever. I come home from Austin on Monday and he was like, hey, my friend's not doing good, like my friend's not doing great mentally. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I don't think I can see you today. I'm like, okay, that I'm extremely understanding about. I deal with mental health struggles. I've been in the psych ward. I also, like, over winter break, no one also knows this, I had to take someone really close to me to the psych ward. Like, I had to like go back to the psych ward that I had been in over fucking Christmas break to take somebody I love there because they were struggling mentally and like they didn't feel like they could make it. So I had to step in and I had to bring them there and I had to do all those things. So I am very, very sympathetic to mental health, suicidal ideations, all of that. I'm extremely sensitive to it and I'm extremely understanding about that. I'm not gonna be like, fuck him, like whatever. Like, no, oh my God, like, do what you gotta do, right? 3 days go by, I don't hear from him. I don't hear from him at all. And I'm like, okay, that's like a little bit weird. And then he calls me And I'm with Maisie, I'll never forget this. And I'm like, hey, like, we have a date night tomorrow. I was like, that's still on. Like, how are you? How is everything? He's like, I'm good. I'm fine. Like, he's chipper and cheery. Like, he's completely fine. He was like, I hate how much I like you. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, why are you? I haven't talked to you in 3 fucking days. Like, you're like, I hate how much I like you and how much I think about you. You don't think about me that often, bitch, if you're not communicating with me. Let's just be so open and honest right there. You don't think about me. If you're not fucking communicating with me, you don't think about me. You don't go from like communicating with someone all day, like every day, to then like not hearing from them and to being like, I like you. Something was just feeling really fucking off. Like, it just felt so off. I was like, eh. And I remember hanging up the phone and Maisie was like, I feel like you have to end things with him. I'm like, I feel like I have to end things with him too. Like, there's something weird. Like, your intuition just knows when something's off. And I was like, something's off. I don't like it. I'm kind of over this whole thing with him in general of like the wishy-washiness, him being fucking flaky. Like, I'm just over these things, right? One thing about me too is I have a fucking difficult time ending things with people because I do feel kind of bad. Like, it's either like I'm like, fuck you, it's done, or but like when I have to like genuinely end things with somebody, it's like actually difficult for me. Whatever. So I sent him a text though, and I like sent him a text. I was like, hi, like the distance and all those things, like I'm just truly not interested anymore. Like, that's just kind of what this comes down to. Doesn't answer my text, calls me the next day, and I'm low-key bitching him out. I'm low-key like, you know what, I'm just like over this. I don't appreciate not being communicated to. Even if something is happening or anything like that, communicate with me, because I'm getting no communication from you. And like, I don't know, I just feel like our time together is like ran its course. As I'm saying this, he blurts out, he was like, I lost my friend. Immediately my heart sinks. Immediately I start fucking crying. I know that pain. I would never wish that pain on anybody in my entire life. I am like so distraught. I feel so fucking horrible. I am so sorry, okay? So that happens and I'm like, oh my God, I feel terrible. Same time, I'm still kind of wanting to end things with the man because it's just not, but I'm like, okay, this is not the time to do that, like whatever, all right? He then is still not communicating with me, which understandable, like you're going through something, that's completely fine. But randomly shows up the next day to my house with my favorite matcha. Like, I'll never forget this. I was in bed, I was FaceTiming Sissy and Nicole, and I was like down bad because I was on my period, and I was like, like whatever, like I'm just not doing good, you guys. And I get a call from him and I'm like, wait, why is he calling me? And he was like, hey, I'm here. I said, you're here? I didn't even have a fucking minute to slap on any concealer, bitch. What do you mean you're here? And he was like, I'm here, I have matcha. Warning would have been nice, bitch. Warning would have been nice. If things were back to what they were with him, that would have been super nice, super sweet. But like, I wasn't, something was so off. Like my intuition was screaming at me, like, get the fuck away from this man. Like, get the fuck away from this man. And I was like, I was hesitant to let him up into my apartment. And I remember Sissy and Nicole were like, well, keep us on the phone. Like, keep us on the phone in case anything, not like he would do anything, but like if anything happens, whatever. So he comes over, he brings my matcha. I still have Sissy and Nicole on the phone, which I normally don't do, but like I put them down and I was just like, whatever. I was on the phone with them, like we had a FaceTime call. So I'm just gonna keep them on the phone. Things are fucking weird and sketchy with this man as they are, but like I'm trying to see like the best because I know he's going through something. I asked this man, I'm like, oh, like, how are you feeling? He was like, I've been better. I asked this man, I go, what was your friend who passed name? He looks at me, he goes, I am not telling you that. I was like, oh. He was like, I am a private person. Like, I'm not telling you, like, anything about my friend who passed away. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? I thought that was so insane because I have lost a friend. And you know what? Maybe I'm different. Maybe I like to talk about the people I passed a little bit, who have passed in my life a little bit too much. But when you're dating someone, seeing someone, I'm like, a week ago, you just told me you wanted to make me your girlfriend. And when he said that, I was like, please don't, let's not do that. Like, we're not even there. Like, you're telling me you want to make me your girlfriend? Hey, hello. A part of dating is you have to be open and honest about what's happening in your life with like everything that's happening. He's like, yeah, I'm not talking about any of that. I was like, no, that's completely fine. I understand people have boundaries, things like that. But the moment that he was like, no, I'm not telling you the name, like I'm not telling you anything, and like snapped on me, I was like, whoa, that's really fucking bizarre. I hang up. Oh, it sounded like someone was here. I was like, is it him? No, he leaves. I'm on the phone with Sissy and Nicole. They're like, Libby, that is the sketchiest thing I've ever seen him. Like, that is the sketchiest thing in the entire world. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck was that? Like, I understand people grieve differently and things like that, but I was like, that, the defense of it, I've never seen him like that in my entire life. He was like, I'm not fucking telling you. I was like, whoa, like I like struck a nerve, and I was like, I then started like talking to some of my guy friends, and they were like, Livy, I don't think he's being honest. Like, I do not think he's being honest. I had like all my guy friends come forward that were like, I have lost people, like my best friend, and I was like talking to a girl. Obviously I'm gonna like tell the girl about it. Like, he's like, they're like, something's fucking weird. At the same time, my intuition is screaming at me. So I'm like, okay. I ended up ending things with him the next day, and you already know I was OCD. If you saw the story time on TikTok, I was OCDing. I wanted him to say, because when you bring up death to me, like I OCD so fucking badly. My OCD just gets super bad. Also, when I feel something off, it's just my OCD is through the fucking roof. Something's off. Something's very bizarre with that, and I honestly wanted to get out. So that's the story time of why Newman and I ended. That's the truth behind it. Love every single one of you. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. She is Livy 2 Eyes Snapchat. We're in our snap bags. Okay, love you guys. Bye.